Today we're going to focus specifically on some of the items that you might want to put inside your bug out bag. And again, you don't want to pack this bug out bag with everything you need. It's not long term. You don't want to be humping around 40, 50, 60 pound rucksack. It's just not advantageous. You want to be able to move quickly, efficiently. You want to be able to, if you have to spend the night somewhere, set it up and break it down very rapidly, very quickly. Also, you're going to be around a lot of people. Chances are you're going to be moving a lot. Everybody's going to be moving to get from point A to point B. So let's talk about packs first. You don't need a huge pack. If you have some different styles of packs. The Molly, I love the Molly. The Molly's great. You know, we have a larger Molly here made from Red Rock. We have a smaller Molly pack here. This is actually for my significant other. I built this for her car. This is a full medical kit. You're not going to need a full-out medical kit for a bug-out bag. You're just going to need the basics. So these bags, the only disadvantage to these bags is when it's Molly, it looks military. It screams, hey, I'm prepared for this. And chances are I have the equipment in here that I am prepared to handle whatever's going to come my way over the next couple of hours or the next couple of days. So you might want to go for something a little more lower profile. Something that doesn't have the Molly webbing on it. You know, JanSport, Puma, something like that. Something very, very unsuspecting. So let's talk about your number one need. Your first need in any situation is to be able to render first aid to yourself. So we have a number of different options here. We've got your first aid 1.0. So these are the basics here. This has your basic 1 to 2 people. There's some gauze in there, there's some bandages, there's some tape, there's band-aids, your basic stuff. If you have children and they're not trained in first aid, at least have something like a booklet for them. So you have a little booklet here that covers all of your basics. Trauma pack. This is Quick Clot. Quick Clot, should you get a deep wound, you're going to need 2 things. Number 1, a cat tourniquet. I don't have one laying here on the table. I have one stashed away on one of these bags here. CAT stands for Combat Application Tourniquet. Don't go cheap on this stuff. Go with a reputable company like North American Rescue. North American Rescue makes some great products. You're going to find them everywhere, where you're going to find people who really know what they're doing and really know what they're talking about and carrying some really good gear. This stuff has the Quick Clot in it right here. Gives you some basic directions on the back. Very simple, very, very lightweight. Both of these will do. You don't need anything very large. I have a full kit I put in my car. I'm not going to be humping that with me. I have the basics. We're good to go with that. Next thing is hydration. Going from point A to point B, he who stays hydrated the longest wins. You might want to carry a little bit of emergency drinking water with you. But you also absolutely need to be carrying some sort of form to purify water, to filter your water. So this is a kind of a knockoff on the Life Straw. These are very popular. They're everywhere. This is another economy version of it right here. And it's got a little plastic tube with it. It's got your filter on there. You can actually screw this onto like a water bottle top, such as this. It'll filter it right out of the water, should you have to get water out of a stream. It's got a little hose with a charcoal filter on the end. To be honest with you, I would not trust my life with these. Got to get something quality. Canteen, single-walled canteen. You can boil water in this bad boy. These are our survival water kits. Sawyer. Sawyer is a staple in the industry of quality name, quality filtration. This little Sawyer Mini right here is rated to filter up to 100,000 gallons of water. 100,000 gallons of water. You're not going to go through that much in a bug out scenario in 72 hours. It's not going to happen. But it's small, it's compact, it's lightweight. It's got a nice little Molly compatible carrying case here with it. As you can see, you've got the straps here. This does come off of this. Now, if you want the creme de la creme, you're going to go with something like Grail, the Grail GeoPress. So you can filter 24 ounces of water in about 8 seconds with this. It's very simple. This is really all you need. Outer cup, inner cup. Scoop up the water that's not clean yet. Here's your filters built in. These are replaceable. They're good for about 350 pushes. Scoop up the dirty water, put this on top. Put your pressure down on top of it. As you're pushing down, that water filters up through the inner cup. Unscrew and drink. Obviously that water is going to give you a little bit of pressure, so it's not going to go quite as fast. It takes 8 to 10 seconds, but it's very efficient, very fast. It's about as compact as you want to get to. Very durable as well, very durable. So let's move on to some of our other aspects you might want to be carrying. Fire, depending on where you live, If you need a source of heat, also what time of year it is. I mean, I have seasonal bags. You know, I will switch out the bags in my car. I'll switch out the bags in my girlfriend's car. Because sometimes, you know, we live in southwestern Pennsylvania. We have weather that's all over the place. I mean, it could be snowing at night where the same day, that morning, it's 65 degrees, 70 degrees. Our weather's all over the place here. But generally, this time of year here, we're in March. We're just about to get out of the snow. So I'm soon going to switch these bags from the wool blankets that are in the bags, heavy pair of socks, hoodies, gloves, hand warmers. So I'm going to go with the basics. So be prepared for where you live, the area you live in. But as far as the basics and getting down here, fire, you're probably not going to be setting up fires in a bug out bag or in a bug out situation for your bug out bag. You're not going to need a whole lot of stuff for fire. Get something basic, but you're not going to need a whole lot of tinder, a whole lot of fire starting stuff because you want to go undetected, which means you're probably going to stay off the roads. The last thing you want to be doing is lighting a fire and screaming to somebody, hey, there's light over here, or there's smoke coming up. They're going to see you from a mile away. If you have to get a heat source, you can go with a full fire kit like this. Bic lighters, they're a classic. A ferro rod if you know how to use one. Blackbeard fire starting sticks, these are great. There's oils and all sorts of stuff in here, and waxes and fire sticks. These are little wet fires. These will light up in just about any condition. And tucked down inside here, a little generic stormproof match kit and some waterproof matches. Also, one thing you might want to carry if you're going to be out in colder conditions, a little survival candle. So with a survival candle, should you have something for coverage, we're going to get to that next. We have some different types of tarps here. If you're really, really cold, crouch down in a circle, light this bad boy up, stick it between your legs. You're going to take your poncho, or if you have a blanket or a sleeping bag here, should you need a sleeping bag, throw it over top of your head. Cut off any circulation from underneath, any air getting up from underneath there. Trap that heat inside. That heat's going to keep you mighty warm. You'll be surprised how quick it's going to get warm inside of there. So you always want a cutting tool. Your next item here, a knife of some sort. You can go pretty cheap here. These Mora basic 511s, hey, they're small. They get the job done. They're only about 12 bucks, 13 bucks, something like that. If you're more of a knife connoisseur and you like a higher end knife, Condor makes a great one here. It's a 1095 carbon steel knife, and you can go all the way up. I mean, you get guys out there $500, $600, $700 knives. So I like to carry at least one source of a cutting tool. So 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Also, let's say you should have to fight someone off, or you lose one of your cutting tool items. Well, you got problems now. So I always like to carry a double. Also, particularly, not just for women, a lot of people say this for women, but for anyone. Let's say you don't have anything on you. Let's say you're disarmed, so you get in a fist fight with somebody. Carry something like a neck knife, like this. They're cheap, they're small, and you can get to them quick and fast. I'm wearing one right now. Boom. Pull it out. It's easy, it's fast, it'll get the job done. It'll give you at least a little bit of protection should you need it in a precarious situation. Shemaghs. Everybody loves a Shemagh. You can do a million things with these Shemaghs. It's a Shemagh right here. So basically, it's a cotton scarf is what it is. And these things really fold out. I believe this one's 42 inch by 42 inch. It can be used in first aid, shoulder sling, wrap a wound, cut off some circulation. It can be used as a pre-filter to your Grail. Maybe you've got a lot of sediment in the bottom of a stream, a creek, even a puddle, and you need to use this bottom cup or one of your cups. You got all this gunk in the bottom of it. Put that over the top. Pour that gunk into the next cup. Now you filtered out all that gunk. There you go. It can be used as head wraps. It can be used to keep you warm. It can be used to grab morning dew off the grass if you're really out of water and you're in a pinch, and you can wring it into your water bottle or your canteen. There's a million uses for these things. Paracord. I never leave home without paracords. You can see my wrist. I got paracord bracelets on. I got a paracord watch on. These things are invaluable. You might have 20 feet, 25 feet of paracord here. Of course, you have your little fire starters. Don't rely on those. Honestly, it's really in a pinch. A little ferro rod there, a little emergency whistle. But the paracord itself, I myself have cut myself nasty, very nasty on my hand right here. I basically had my thumb reattached, and the only thing that really kept me from bleeding out, I put a tourniquet up high with my belt. And then I actually had one of these on, I had an OD green one on, and took it off, cut it. I was in the middle of the woods. Used it as a secondary tourniquet to kind of slow down some of that bleeding a little bit. This is a 100-foot spool of paracord here, or a bunch of paracord rather. 550 rated, 7-strand. It's your basic stuff. I have stuff in the car. I have in every one of my bug out bags, survival bags. It's invaluable. It really is. We're going to talk about lights. Now, you probably want to try to keep those lights off come nighttime, again, so that you're not found. But should you need one, headlamp. What's the advantage of a headlamp here? Also, you see it's got a red light there, red LED. Red LED isn't going to attract as much attention. It's not going to be quite as bright. Try to pick something like that. And try to pick something where you have readily accessible batteries. I always carry spare batteries. But in the event that your spare batteries are dead, or you run out of you go through your spare batteries, you're going to need something where you're able to find readily accessible AAA or AA batteries. The advantage of a headlamp over a flashlight, although I do carry a flashlight as well, is that your hands are free. Now, instead of having one hand holding a flashlight and another hand to do something else, you've got both your hands free. Make it as easy as you possibly can on yourself. I carry one of these same little pouches as these fire kits. I carry one here with some basics in it. The flashlight, the spare batteries. I got some AA's down there. These are AAA's. Here's a flashlight. Sharpie and a pen and a notepad right here, plus some extra cash. So let's say, again, you have kids or you're looking to meet someone, meet up with someone somewhere. Maybe you need to leave a note for someone. These are waterproof, weatherproof notepads. So you can write on these in the rain, and it's fine. It's not going to fall apart. It's not going to tear. Grab yourself a good ballpoint pen and a good Sharpie. Always have backups. Cash, I put a little bit of cash in each one of my bags, maybe about $100. Especially if you got kids, and you're not near your kids, your wife, your husband, even yourself. Maybe you need to buy yourself out of a situation. I know there's a $5 bill on the outside, but there's some larger bills on the inside. I put about $100 in each one of my packs, just in case. Also, when we're talking about flashlights, moving at nighttime, these are just some basic like skydiving goggles. I mean, these things were like less than $10. You get a little breathability in there so it doesn't fog up. If you're trying to stay off the roads and let's say you're going through the woods and you're moving at nighttime, a lot of times you want to move at night. You don't want to move during the day because you don't want to be seen. You don't want to be noticed. So if you put these on, these are going to protect your eyes. If you're going through the woods, sticks, they get in your eyes all the time. If you can't see and you're leaving that flashlight off, maybe you got a branch coming this way, you trip and fall and there's a branch on the ground, you could take an eye out very easily. These are a lifesaver. They really are. Protect your eyes. You only have one pair of them. So let's talk about something to keep you warm. Let's say you live in a chillier environment. So Snugpak makes all sorts of different types of bags, sleeping bags. So this is your basic jungle bag here. If you're in sub-zero temperatures, you're not going to be carrying around a 0-degree bag. They're very large. They're cumbersome to carry. This one's not going to keep you cold if it's 0 degrees out. You're looking like that 35 to 45 degree range here. But it is OD green. It does zipper up. And it does have a little bug net that zippers around the head there. Should you find yourself, let's say you live in Florida, and let's say it's in the Everglades, there's bugs everywhere there, it's miserable in the Everglades. Should you get yourself out there at nighttime and you're laying out in the woods, or you're laying in some area there where you've got critters, you've got creatures, you're near the water, mosquitoes are everywhere, you probably want to have something to protect your face. Ponchos. This is a ripstop poncho here. I love the ripstop. Ripstop's very valuable. Also, you see these grommets here. Now, the grommets, I would always suggest using something that has grommets and snaps, such as this. This is a PVC line. It's not ripstop, but it is PVC. When you pull it out, here's what it looks like. Now, you can use this as a shelter. This is it snapped together. There's a hood here, drawstring, zipper. On all four corners, you have open grommets. Now with your paracord and your knife, you can cut some strands of paracord. If you need to tie this off to a tree or some sort of tie-off point. Now if it's pouring down rain, you have with these snaps, you unsnap the other side, get some paracord, twist and tie off that hood so you're not getting water down through the hood. Now you have yourself a shelter in a pinch. If you need to run a ridge line through there with some paracord and make an A-frame, or a plow point, you can do that with this type. This, or with the PVC type. Also, this ripstop, it's the same thing. It's pretty much set up the same way. Also, keeping things dry. I always recommend carrying a spare pair of socks. At least one spare pair of socks. So what happens if you drop your pack? So your pack gets soaked. It should be raining out. What happens if you drop your pack in a puddle? You got problems now. Things are going to soak through unless you have a waterproof bag. They do sell those out there, but they're a little bit pricey. So you have a 1 liter dry bag here. There's 1 liter, there's 4 liters, there's 8 liters. I mean, you can just keep going up and up and up. This is your basic. This is your small one. So I always like to wrap up things like my cash. That's why I keep my cash in a little Ziploc baggie here. Try to keep it dry. Same as the pens and the Sharpies. Some of your basic stuff you really want to keep dry, especially those socks. Wrap them up in here, fold it over a few times, you're good to go. Spare tools also. In addition to the knife, a multi-tool. I've got a full-size multi-tool, but I've got these all over the place. These little mini multi-tools, these things are only a couple of bucks, and they've got all your basics in there. You got your little wire cutters, little like needle nose pliers. You've got an awl in there, a tiny little saw, a knife, a bottle opener, a flathead, a Phillips head, the basic stuff. So should you need to fix something on the fly, at least you have something more than just a knife on you. There's also a nice little handy belt loop in the back should you want to carry it on your belt. Food. You really don't need to focus on food. Again, this is a bug out situation. This is a bug out bag. I'm not going to be, as you see, I don't have any cook sets out here. I'm not cooking at all. This is to go. I'm grabbing it and I'm going. These are the types of food here from Wise Company, now called Ready Wise, Alpine Air. You boil some water, such as in that canteen, 32-ounce stainless steel canteen. Get this off. Once you boil the water, you put it in there, seal it up, fold it over, wait 20 minutes. Hey, you get a nice little meal. But you can survive 3 days without food. I don't even carry these in my bug out bags. You shouldn't either. It's taking up room for more valuable items. Get some granola bars, get some energy bars. Worst case scenario, get some of these survival tabs. They're just loaded with calories. It's going to get you from point A to point B. I'm not going to rely on this long term, absolutely not. But in a pinch, hey, throw it in there. It doesn't take up much room. I mean, this is what do I got? 180 chewable tablets in here. I'm not going to carry 180. Maybe I'll carry 10, 20 of them. A very, very small amount. Also, as a backup emergency, these things are as cheap as can be. A little emergency space blanket, Mylar Blanket. So these are heat reflective. So let's say you find yourself in a situation where the temperatures drop very rapidly and you're outside. This is going to reflect your own body. You get inside this thing, snuggle up, tie it off as best you can, keep that cold air from coming in. It's going to reflect your own body heat back onto you. You can make a small shelter with it. Again, the plow point, the A-frame, something like that. But these are cheap, very lightweight, don't take up much room at all. Only a couple dollars. Get yourself a handful of them. So some of the more expendable items you might want to think about putting in there. And again, pepper spray. Check your local laws. Some states they don't permit you to carry this. I know a lot of women carry these on their keychains. If you have children, your children, let's say they're trying to get from point A to point B on their own. For some reason, you or your husband, your wife, whoever might not be with them. This is a great tool to use to deter someone. They're small. They're not strong. This can shoot, 10, 15 feet? Some of these can even shoot, I think, like up to 20 feet. It's a great little tool to have. Safety first, obviously. Also, glow sticks. Now, this is a much larger one. They have the smaller ones, smaller packets. Maybe you've got a family system down where when you get from one point to another, you need to alert your family that you're there. Maybe it's nighttime. You crack these things, wave them in the air. Hey, it means I'm safe, or it means I'm in trouble. One of the two. Figure out your own family plan. Now, if you want to go into things like not being tracked with your cell phone, everybody's got a cell phone on them. Guess what? This is a beacon right here. Maybe you don't want to be tracked. Faraday bags. You open up these Faraday bags like this, flip your cell phone in, and they make them very large as well. They have full backpacks. Flip it over a few times. Now you try calling my cell phone, no signal's coming through. It's just not coming through. No signal's going out, no signal's coming in. As I said, larger packs. This is a Faraday backpack. Not the entire backpack is Faraday, but there are some large pockets on the inside. These silver pocket here, and I've got a couple other silver pockets deep down inside in here. You see the silver on the inside there, and shining. That indicates it's a Faraday pouch. So you can fit a laptop, you can fit a tablet, you know, whatever you have, you can fit it in here. Large one, you're gonna pay the price for it, but all you really need, point A to point B again, cell phone. Keep it in a Faraday bag. Should that be a concern of yours? Maybe it isn't. Most people, it's not a concern. Escape and evasion stuff. Should you find yourself in an unlawful detention? This is a great training film put out by the Survival Summit, a wonderful company. We've done some work with them. We sell a ton of these things. You know, there are escape and evasion courses you can take all over the country, various schools. If you're interested in one, give us a shot. We can point you in the right direction. A great training tool here. DVDs, we also have in USBs. There's some places that have online streaming as well. So again, with the escape and evasion stuff, you can get some items that you can carry on your person. Now, this is a boot cuff key, bootlace key. So I've got on tennis shoes, but same thing. Right on the end of your laces, that key clips on there, and that little rubber sheath goes right over top of it. Nobody's going to notice it. Take that off. Should you have cuffs around, you can reach yourself down like this. Take it off, you can pick your cuffs with it. Zipper pull. There's a little handcuff key up inside of this zipper pull right here. Let's see if I can open this up and show you. So let's say you've got a jacket on. You get a zipper on the jacket. Or you get a zipper on your pack. This just looks like a zipper pull. This one's brand new, so it's a little tight in there. There you go. There's your key right there. It's basically the same thing as this 4-pack. We can sell them individually. We sell them in 4-packs. Buy a whole bunch of them. These are ideally meant to be single-use keys. You can get away using them maybe 2, maybe 3 times, but that plastic's gonna give on you. Very, very lightweight. If you have a cash belt, a cash cap, Wazoo makes cash belts and cash caps. Great stuff. They've got pockets on the underside of the bill of the hat. They got pockets on the inside. The inside of the belts zipper out. You can fit all sorts of gear in there. I always carry these on me, especially if I'm doing international travel. Anytime I travel internationally, Americans, we're always a target. Why? Because Americans are going to pay for safety. Their family's going to pay, their company's going to pay, whatever it might be. Don't sell yourself short. Keep yourself a couple of these keys on you wherever you're going. Now let's say you're training. You know, these are training pistols. They aren't actual pistols. You know, this is just plastic. Same with this. It's a heavier plastic. So you want to find yourself something. If you are concealed carrying, you got some packs here. You can fit all sorts of stuff here on the back pocket. Yeah, it's against your pack, against your back. If you need it in the pack, if you're a concealed carrying person, you're not going to get concealed carry on something like this. You know, there are some very low profile packs there, little shoulder bags or regular backpacks that don't have the molly on them. Maybe you prefer the molly. Hey, that's great. If I have the molly, I can strap this fire kit to the outside of it. I can strap this water kit to the outside of it. I can strap whatever to the outside of it because I have the ability to do that. But if you're going for something a little bit more low profile, maybe you don't have somewhere to hide a pistol. So you got your fake pistol there. This is a higher end pistol called a SIRT pistol. It actually has the same weight. It's not, again, it's not a real gun. Here's your magazines. They're just hard rubber. You can buy a couple spare ones, but it does mimic a real pistol. And there's even a little light in there, so you can train with these pistols. Train accurately. Train with the TV. Train with a friend. Whatever it might be. But hey, quick draw is a quick draw. Should you be someone who's interested in carrying firearms on you? I know a lot of us are. So point A to point B, that's it. I know I've thrown a lot at you here. You don't have to carry all this stuff. See what suits you. See what fits you. You know, not everybody's going to be the same. You know, your budgets aren't the same. Your family isn't the same. Maybe your tastes change. You know, my tastes change every couple of years. Maybe I have something, I think it's the creme de la creme, and hey, I'm good to go, I'll never buy something new. And then something new comes out on the market. Guess what? Got to have it. Top of the line. So work with your budget. What I would do is I would get the items first before you buy the pack. Figure out which items you need in your pack, and that way you have an idea of how large your pack needs to be. Don't be carrying a whole bunch of extra room in your pack where you can fill it up with a whole bunch of extra gear. It's great to have extra room, but then you tend to fill it up with extra gear. Sometimes you can end up weighing yourself down. You don't want to do that. So think about a few things we've talked about here in this video, a few things I've shown you guys, and figure out what you want to do, what you want to have for your wife, what you want to have for your husband, rather, if you're a female watching this, what you want to have for your children based on their ages. You know, you probably, if they're young kids, if they're 5, you don't want to give them pepper spray. Obviously, you don't want to give them pepper spray. That's very dangerous. But give them something that they can work with. Give them a chance should you guys be parted. It's the best advice I can give you. Bug out bag, 72 hours, that's it. Then you're looking at a survival bag after that. It's a whole different ballgame.